Hello, my name is Newton Kellogg, and I'm going to be talking about the sport of football. The sport I've been researching, and the sport that I'm trying to convince parents to let their kids play with me as the athletic trainer. And so I'm well aware of the injuries that football withholds, specifically the three I've been researching the most, which are the most common injuries known to football, both professionally and high school, middle school, really all football, which actually all pertain to the knee. Very fragile joint, always going through a lot of stress, a lot of pain, a lot of impact throughout the game of football, which is why it's prone to so much injury. But yeah, so we're going to be discussing the three main injuries of football, which are all related to the knee, but are all different slightly and very different when broken down to an anatomical stance. However, I am well aware of the risks of football, but also the benefits. I'm also aware of preventative measures for these injuries, as well as rehabilitation if they occur, and treatment for such injuries. So the first injury is the ACL tear, which stands for the anterior cruciate ligament. This injury is brought upon by sudden stops or changes in direction throughout the game. It is the most common injury in football. It can also happen when there's impact from someone tackling, but the reason it's so common is because that doesn't need to happen. A sudden stop or change in direction will bring the injury up. But this ligament is located under the patella, which is a little bone on top of the knee, and it's also above the tibia. So it's connecting those two bones together in the knee joint, kind of in the middle, more buried into the knee joint, which is why if it is torn or fractured or anything like that, it can only be really assessed by an x-ray. You won't usually, unless it's really awful, see too much swelling. However, it's usually pretty obvious when it is an ACL tear. After all, it's one of the most painful and most common injuries in football. And for each injury, I'm going to give a rehabilitative, preventative exercise that I'm going to make all of the kids do in our training to prevent these injuries from happening, hopefully. But those videos are yet to come with me demonstrating those exercises. It'll be shown later in the presentation by each. But treatment-wise, again, other than the exercise, which we'll get to that, but treatment-wise, icing the knee is the best thing. If it's bad enough, surgery is involved. But usually, especially in minor league football, icing will do the trick, especially if it's a tear or fracture in that ligament. Our next injury is the MCL tear, which is the medial cruciate ligament. So it's actually located on the inside of the knee, the medial standpoint. So the mechanism of injury for this is high impact put on a slightly bent knee. So if I was staying like this and someone hit my knee, maybe the camera can't see me, staying like this, someone came in from the side, I'm rupturing the MCL. That's a bad one. However, as a precaution, we do have knee pads and knee guards, and as a treatment when this ligament is torn, the best thing to do is actually wear a knee brace, or even just a athletic knee brace that doesn't have that much support. Even just a little bit of support will help just to keep our leg straight, as opposed to letting it have any ability to pronate or supinate at all. Again, we'll get to the exercise later in the presentation. So that's the best treatment, is the knee brace. Icing kind of goes for all of them. The reason it's the main thing I said for ACL is because the ACL is buried deep in the knee joint, and it's hard to get to otherwise without surgery. But also assessing this particular ligament break is it will swell, and you'll see the swelling because it's right on the outside of the knee joint. So that's fairly easy to assess. Our last injury is the meniscus tear. So the meniscus is tricky because it's actually a plate of fibrocartilage that is surrounding the ACL within the knee joint. It's actually all in the knee joint. And the reason it's tricky is because cartilage can fairly easily break, but it can also fairly easily heal, especially with the right treatment, exercises. Again, I can't stress this enough. We will get to the exercises, but treatment-wise, icing, yes. However, because it is surrounding the whole knee, an actual knee brace is the best treatment for this. Mixed with, I've used this in other assignments before, mixed with the specific icy hot knee braces, just with the heat and the icing with having the whole knee braced is perfect. And for rehabilitative measures, especially because this one can be kind of nasty, it's best to, for at least 4 or 5 days or until fully recovered to the point where it doesn't hurt so bad that you can't walk, is the best treatment is just to stay stationary. Just stay home and don't move it as much as possible until you are pain-free enough in your rehabilitative process, depending on how bad of an injury it is again, that you can move and walk around. However, you can identify this injury because when it happens, if you slightly bend your knee, even just a little bit, to the point that pain allows, because we're very focused on not doing things that hurt, it'll make a clicking noise, which is kind of disgusting, but that's a dead giveaway that it is a meniscus tear, which is actually better than a ligament tear. It'll heal faster, usually than a ligament tear will, like the ACL and the MCL tear. There you go. So those are my assessments, the treatments of these tears, and now as I go through this PowerPoint presentation, I'll have videos of my rehabilitative exercises demonstrating them. But for now, at the end of this presentation, I'm just going to tell you them because the camera's set up here, so I have different individual videos showing me performing the exercises. But for the ACL tear, we have knee flexion and extension, which is the best rehabilitative exercise. For the MCL, we have a quad constraint, which again, these are maybe just big words that don't mean anything, but I will demonstrate them in the later videos. And for the meniscus tear, it's a tricky one. Sorry, I can't. It's just 2 separate cuts because my camera fell down by accident. Slipped off the stability point. Sorry, I was also reading and it fell. I hit the thing, but not important is important. Meniscus. Again, you shouldn't work it out until it's healed to the point where you can move it relatively pain-free, because it is a tricky one. The cartilage is all in the knee joint. But when it gets to that point, you should get to a point where you can do knee supination pronation, which again I'll show in the next video, which involves the foot supinating and pronating, or abducting and adducting. But that is the best one for meniscus, especially because it just strengthens all the more, not only the meniscus, but the ligaments, all the ligaments in the knee, supinating and pronating like that. And I will get to that in the next videos, all of those exercises. But this is my presentation, and the benefits of football outweigh the risks for sure, because there are rehabilitative measures you can do for all these injuries. And the benefits are, I mean, it's a great cardio workout, strength building, endurance for sure, because they'll be stronger, faster, healthier. There's no chance of them really becoming overweight, and the risk of them having any heart issues or any kind of disease is already low, pretty low because they're kids, but even lower when they have that healthy flow of exercise going, especially the cardio standpoint. They need that in their adolescence and growing up. They need their heart rate to be continuously spiking throughout their day periodically. It's been proven time and time again that that is beneficial in maturing physiologically and biologically. They need that exercise, they need that specific cardio, and that endurance in football is hard to get anywhere else. And that is one of the many reasons, a few of the many reasons that I just listed, why football benefits outweigh the risks and the dangers. And even with the risks and the dangers, we have rehabilitative standards, preventative standards, and treatments and assessments for all of these injuries that you may come across. All right, that's my presentation. Thank you.